Finally, a gameplay patch. You're hyped, I'm hyped, everyone's hyped, except the Tinker players. You want to hop in a game and get right into the fun, but there's kinda a lot that changed, and you don't really know all of it yet. You haven't read the patch notes yourself, and you still haven't finished Purge's 12-hour patch analysis. That's about the time to drive 800 miles from New York to Chicago. Don't worry, today I'm going to go over some of the biggest changes you should know to feel comfortable hopping into queue and having a good time. 7.36 introduced two new mechanics to deepen each hero's complexity: Innates and Facets. Innates are abilities that are present on a hero for the entire game. Every hero has one unique innate, seen here in-game or here on the hero page. There are two types of innates. First, innates that grant a hero a unique effect. For example, Dawnbreaker's innate is that whenever the sun rises, Dawnbreaker gradually reveals the entire map to allies over 4 seconds. Or Io's innate, which allows Io's team to take one less second to channel watchers, and gives them increased vision. Which is trash, Valve, please change this. Second, innates that change a hero's ability to have 5 levels and give them a free first point in it at level 1. These will be familiar to you because they're just like normal spells that the hero already had, but now they're innate, meaning the hero starts with it at level 1. For example, Venomancer's Poison Sting. You used to need to spend your first skill point to get it at level 1. Now Venomancer's innate is that he gets it at level 1, but it has 5 different levels instead of the 4 that most spells have. To balance this, the first point in innates are usually not too strong. The next big mechanic is Facets, and this is where things get really interesting. Facets are a hero customization choice that provide the ability to better align the playstyle of a hero with a specific match or player preference. Like innates, facets are specific to each hero. Facets can be seen here in-game, on the scoreboard to see everyone's in a game, by holding Alt and looking at the top of the screen, and here on the hero page. In the strategy phase, you need to choose the facet you want because you can't change it once the game starts. Most heroes have 2, but some have more, which we'll go over later. Now, what are facets anyway? Like mentioned before, they allow you to customize your hero a bit to better fit how you want to play the game. For example, Io's facets, Kritzkrieg and Metagun, which are TF2 references. Kritzkrieg allows for more offensive potential by granting overcharge with bonus attack speed and spell amp, while Metagun is more defensive by granting bonus armor and magic resistance. Or Legion Commander's facets, Stonehall Plate and Spoils of War. One is more focused on helping her by granting a damage barrier to her, while the other helps her team out by giving them permanent bonus damage if they assist in a successful duel. I won't go through all of the changes here as there are a lot, but the basic idea is that facets help you play the game how you want to play it and sometimes give you new options that you didn't have before. For example, Chen has 5 facets, which allow him to just summon a creep from nothing, even at level 1. Or Alchemist's facet, Seed Money, which gives Alchemist 250 bonus gold at the start of the game, allowing you more options with your starting items, maybe buying a bottle for your mid laner. So those are the two main things that were added in 7.36, innates and facets. And every hero got them, so the patch was pretty big. Like I said before, I won't go over all of the innates and facets here, but I'll highlight some that I thought you might get confused by when seeing in-game for the first time. If you want me to go in depth into any, be sure to let me know in the comments or in my Discord, link in the description. Faceless Void's second facet replaces Chronosphere with a new ability, Time Zone. This creates an area like Chronosphere, although obviously a different shape, which reduces the movement, attack, cast, projectile, and churn rate speed of enemies inside. Allies inside have those speeds increased instead. Magnus' second facet pushes enemies in a 600 AoE around Magnus away from him when he uses RP. This is basically the complete reverse of a normal RP, hence the name Reverse Polarity.
โอ้นิดเดียวเราก็ชนะแล้ววะ
Mars' second facet makes the arena walls obscure vision, making enemies outside not able to see inside and vice versa. This makes it so enemies outside can't save their allies in the arena. If you're playing against Mars with this facet, keep an observer ward ready during a teamfight since placing a ward in the arena will counter this by giving vision inside. Puck's second facet makes its orb a vector-targeted ability, which allows it to curve any direction you want instead of go in a straight line. Another one that's visually shocking to see, Timbersaw's second facet, Twisted Chakram. This gives a new ability which throws a smaller, uncontrollable chakram that flies in an infinity sign motion. Sniper's first facet, Ghillie Suit, allows Sniper to not be revealed in Fog of War when attacking while Take Aim is active. You can still see the bolts flying towards you and the muzzle flash from his weapon. Both of Shadow Shaman's facets. First, Cluster Cluck, which allows Shaman to hex an allied hero, making them invulnerable for 0.1 second, transforms them into a chicken with bonus movement speed, and creates 3 other chickens to try and confuse your enemies. This is a great new saving tool for Shaman. His innate allows the same effect to happen to Shaman whenever he takes lethal damage. It has a 90-second cooldown though, so he's not invincible. His second facet changes his normal serpent wards to one massive serpent ward with 10 times damage and bounty value, and it's a lot tankier. Night Stalker's second facet, Night Rain. This reverses the day-night cycle, making the game start at nighttime after the first bounty rune spawn instead of daytime. Nighttime duration is also increased, while daytime is decreased. Lastly, I want to go over some of the other important gameplay changes that 7.36 brought that you probably want to keep in mind. We'll start with one of the item changes. There weren't many item changes overall, and not much too crazy to speak on. One thing was Roshan's banner though. This got changed a lot, and unfortunately made a lot of the info in my Roshan's banner video outdated. The gist is that it now grants invulnerability to all allied lane creeps in the now reduced 600 radius. Creeps lose this effect when they leave the radius. The banner used to last 5 minutes, whereas now it only lasts 2 minutes. You used to be able to cast it globally, but now the range is 1200. And finally, melee hero attacks now deal 2 times damage to it. So a ranged hero attack will take 6 hits to destroy it, and a melee hero will take 3. So it seems like the use case now is when you're pushing high ground and the enemy uses Glyph. Instead of having to use your own Glyph to protect your creeps, you can now just place the banner to keep them alive. The other use case is placing it for vision during a fight, since it gives a whopping 1500 ground vision during day and nighttime. This is a strat we talked about in my Roshan banner video, but you have to be careful with this now since melee hero hits do more damage to it. Also, it has the 1200 cast range restriction, so getting it on the enemy backlines is not very likely. Glyph no longer refreshes when the first tier 3 tower is destroyed. It'll instead now refresh when the first melee barracks is destroyed. It's still nice to use your Glyph while your tower is alive, so it can hit the enemies and maybe clear their creep wave, but just keep in mind that you won't have that Glyph refresh until one of your melee barracks is destroyed. This mechanic that I wasn't sure about, but I tested it and it's actually true. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll win your next 5 ranked games. Gaben must be a fan. Hero denies now grant experience to the hero who created the deniable debuff. So if you gale an enemy and their teammate is able to deny them, previously you'd get nothing. No gold, no XP. Now you'll still get no gold, but you will get the XP for the kill. Ability tooltips got some changes. They now show the cast range of the ability next to this little green icon. The cast range value updates if you get cast range items like Aether Lens. Also, there are icons which indicate if the ability value can be upgraded by Aghanim Shard, Scepter, Talents, or Facets. A new Dota Labs feature, Persistent Range Indicators. This allows you to hold Alt plus right click on an ability or item and have the range of it always show. This can help you get those max range blinks off or just help know the range of any spells. It works on items as well. This is especially useful if you use quick cast, as you won't normally be able to hold the ability ready to use, which shows the cast range. You can even use it to show the range of your attacks by Alt plus right clicking on your stats here. If this video helped you in any way, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know in the comments something you learned or something important that I missed so we can all learn even more together. As I mentioned in my previous video, I recently launched a Patreon, so if you want to support me and my content a little more, go check it out. I offer coaching at different tiers and the option to view all past coaching sessions that you can't see anywhere else. Simply watching and interacting with my content is of course still greatly appreciated. A big thank you to Jay and Oliek for becoming members already. I wasn't sure how to pronounce that last name, but I asked ChatGPT and that's what it told me to say. Hopefully it's right. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something new with me.